Hey, hey. Actually, I sound a lot better. My God, I really sound a lot better than I did. Kind of, sort of. So, what's up, everyone? I got knocked the fuck out last night from NyQuil. Oh my God. My bottom teeth are blue. That's why I'm like kind of hiding because I just took out my retainer from soaking it in whatchamacallit, soaking it in mouthwash, which is what I soak it in, but it's blue, so it takes a little while for the blue to go away, so that's why I'm kinda, like, hiding my mouth. So, yeah, that's that. But you get to see Buka. I never made my bed, deal with it. Um, at this point, I don't even care, I've been so sick, so deal with it. How you guys doing? I can't believe how much better I sound, though, I really do, I sound, like, 10 times better. But that NyQuil shit, whew, that stuff will knock you the fuck out. So when I got up this morning, let me say hi to everyone. What's up, everyone? When I got up this morning, I sound like I'm crackly. I happen to be turning on other things, like different things, and I put on T Rev for a moment, and I was like half asleep, but I was listening to him. Oh my God, I cannot even believe what I was hearing. And thank God that he did not agree with Crime Clown. But my thing is, I hear all these people talking about Betty and how Betty interferes with cases and how this one interferes with cases and how that one interferes and everybody interferes with cases. But the real people that are interfering with cases, nobody says a word. Hey, Colleen, nobody says a word. What I heard today, I was like, oh my God, I have to do a reaction to this. This is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. And one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And I cannot believe, I mean, people thought Ryan Upchurch was bad. This takes the cake. And there's thousands of people that are buying into this. And that's what's scary. So I decided to do a reaction to it because not only is it disappointing, it's disgusting. It's downright disgusting. And it's fabricated. Yes, he says that it's just his opinion. But it really doesn't matter if it's his opinion or not. Ryan just had an opinion too and is getting sued. But I really personally think what he's doing is worse than what Ryan did, and that's no joke. It's seeing the same amount of viewers as Ryan's did. I know they say Ryan has 3 million viewers, and that's true, but only, let's say, 150,000 watch it. Well, he's getting the same numbers, and I am just so disgusted at what I heard, and I really think you guys are gonna be too, honestly. So I know, Willow, it's crazy. So let me also point out all new memberships from this channel will also go to breast cancer awareness. Not all, 50%. The good news is for some of you that memberships here are cheaper. My other channel, they start at $4.99. This channel, they start at $2.99. So it's less. So let's try to get more. So this way we can donate more. Because out of this channel, it's only $1.25 that goes to breast cancer awareness. So let's try to get some members. Hey, Joy. No, T-Rev was fine. T-Rev agreed with basically saying what I was saying, like, this ain't right. Hey, Headstones, saying like this ain't right. So no, T-Rev agreed with me. Like, this was insane. Absolutely insane. Wait till you guys hear it. But I'm gonna start with a easy part. Now, as you guys know, when it came to the Idaho 4, I covered the case in full to start. I was knee deep in it. I was totally excited about it. Like, putting a case that you can deep sink your teeth into. Then the conspiracy theories started, and then I kind of sizzled out because I don't like when, 1,000 people are covering the same case. When something new comes up, I will definitely talk about it and I will definitely address it. I agree, Colleen. And there really hasn't been anything new. When there was something new, I went live and I discussed it. But there really hasn't been anything new, so I haven't really discussed it. I'm not one of these people to dig into every single detail of a case that's still pending. Like, if it was like making a murderer and it was after the fact and we're trying to get someone who's innocent, that's different. But a case that's still pending, I don't find it, what's the word? I don't find it good to come up with crazy theories that's gonna hurt a jury. Because unlike a lot of people, I believe that Scott Peterson was convicted based on public outrage, not based on facts, because there were no facts. And because of that, whether he's guilty or not doesn't matter. He never got a fair trial. Stephen Avery never got a fair trial. Brendan Dassey never got a fair trial. There's a lot of people that are sitting in jail for the rest of their life that very well might be guilty, but they never had a chance to do a fair trial based on public opinion. With social media being as big as it is, this just escalates the fact that people are not getting a fair trial based on public outrage, conspiracy theories, the whole 9 yards. So, do you, Jen? We're like one of a kind because most people don't. I know, White Rabbits. I have a video made against Turtle Boy, which kind of blew me away, which I could play that too. So, and Jen, we are anomaly when it comes to Scott Peterson because most people believe that Scott Peterson is guilty and blah, blah, blah. He very well might be, but the man deserves a fair trial, and it's something that he never got. So, I don't want, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Brian Kohlberger is guilty. In my heart of hearts. The evidence, it's kind of weak. But all things considered, whether he actually did the killings, he was the mastermind behind it, something. He's involved somehow. And nothing is going to take me away from that. Did he act alone? I have no idea. But there are certain things that lead me to believe that he is definitely involved. So, but what I don't want to do is go down a ridiculous path or ridiculous theory that, oh my God, Brian's innocent. Oh my God, Brian couldn't have done this. You're tainting a jury pool. And as a responsible creator, yes, you can have an opinion. But when you go so far right that it's not even comprehensible, and you cater to every conspiracy theorist out there with the most, welcome, Booberry, with the most ridiculous fucking theories that I've ever heard, that's a problem. And that's what happened. That's what I heard today. Absolutely, unequivocally, the dumbest shit I ever heard. Now, before I even get into that, same crime clown talked about, hey, Jay, the same crime clown talked about a ladder. Now, again, exactly, Mary Jane. Talked about a ladder. Now, again, we're in October, almost, I'd say the first quarter of October. I was going to say almost middle, but we're not quite there yet. Of October. The case happened last year. So I don't remember exactly what I reported on, when, who, what, when, where, why, or how. But the last couple of weeks, people are talking about a ladder. The ladder is quite obvious. I'm going to show you what I saw, and then you guys tell me what you think. And then I'll show you something else. Hold on. Now, I want you to know too, his video was made 3 weeks ago. This particular video was made 3 weeks ago.
It's time we discuss the ladder. As we zoom in, you can see some concerning things here. Crime scene tape is tied directly to it. That's a bit alarming. Let's check out some other exhibits that I have to present.
Okay, someone tell me why it's alarming that crime tape was taped to a ladder that's most likely evidence. What makes that alarming?
You for the ladder. Here's an even crispier photo of the house and the ladder. Let's zoom on in. You can see this ladder is propped up against the side of the house.
So apparently I can't go run north.
So please tell me what the big deal is about the ladder. He most likely climbed up the ladder to get through the windows. That's it. This is not rocket science. Why this is a big deal, I don't know. Now, the reason why it's important that I don't remember what I discussed, a year ago, is Newsweek. Hold on. Newsweek talked about this ladder in December 13th of 2022. Thank you, Booberry. That's awesome. All right, we got to start with we will donate by the end of the stream. Let's get as many as possible. So they talked about the ladder on 12/13 of 2022. That's why I don't get why this is being a big deal now. I don't get it. They're making it out like they just discovered something about the ladder. The ladder has been a topic since before Brian was even caught. So I guess I'm just a little confused why this is a big deal. Somebody had called into ICML, I guess, talking about the ladder and that she's been trying to bring it to someone's attention. Was reddish and then the color changed. That spot was sketched from the beginning. He probably climbed up the ladder. I mean, it could have been clay. I don't know what they use for dirt, but like here it's like clay. Florida's clay. It's like this red clay. But it's very logical that he climbed up the ladder and got into the house that way. That's not rocket science though. And what is the big conspiracy here? The ladder is probably evidence, or they realized the ladder didn't mean anything, or they took DNA from the ladder. But they're making this conspiracy theory like this ladder means something. I don't think the ladder means anything other than he probably used it to climb up and down, or down, or up, not down. So I just don't get, that was my one question, but that's not what the video is about. I just threw that in as extra. But now let's get into what I saw from T-Rev this morning. And I didn't listen to the whole thing. I couldn't listen to it. I was like, you know what? I got to react to this. All right. He does say this video contains guesses, speculation, opinions. Nothing in this video is to be taken as fact. All people and businesses are presumed innocent, and all words is someone else's fantasy. All that might be true, but that won't stop you from getting sued.
In this episode, we are going to discuss the secret door and so much more, including the police investigation into Moscow, Idaho, Brian Koberger. We're going to have some clarification on cryptocurrency, cults, panties, and so much more. So, without further ado, let's see what I have to say for myself this time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crime Circus. My name is drop-drap, and I'll be your host as always. In this episode, we're going to have a discussion about the Idaho 4 and so much more. We're going to talk about a few different things, and we're going to lead right into the secret door. Yeah. First, let's have some clarifications on my previous video. In my previous video, we talked about cowboys and cryptocurrencies. I asked all of you, what do you think that cowboy had in his hand? He was concealing something, we just didn't know what it is. I picked the top 3 guesses that I saw that really made sense to me. Number 1, one of you out there thought he was concealing the black diamond. The black diamond from the Hex cryptocurrency scam. Someone else out there thought that they were retrieving a cryptocurrency flash drive. And this is what a cryptocurrency flash drive looks like. That is a possibility because those men seem like they were on a mission to retrieve something very important. The black diamond or a crypto.
What in the fuck is he even talking about? Please tell me what he's even talking about.
Cryptocurrency flash drive. And for those of you that don't know, a cryptocurrency flash drive can be very valuable. Millions and millions of dollars on a little USB drive. Yeah. Also, one of you out there guessed that it was Kaylee's panties. Now that's really specific. I don't know how you know for sure it was hers and not one of the other girls, and there was quite a few other girls in the home that evening. But this is no laughing matter because one of Canada's most famous serial killers is this man. And he had an infatuation and an obsession with taking victims' panties. That was his thing. He would go into homes and snatch away. Yeah, really disturbing, but that is.
Let me also add, this video is on his second channel. His second channel has almost 100,000 subscribers. And within the first 2 hours of dropping this video, it had almost 16,000 views. So we're not talking like someone like me that'll get 1,000 or 2,000 views, you know? We're talking somebody that will get 100,000 views on this video by the end of the day.
What he did. I personally really hope the cowboy wasn't taking panties. Moving right along. They weren't wearing body cams. They weren't escorted to the Moscow PD crime scene by Moscow PD. These are unidentified individuals, and law enforcement has to wear identification, including badges and name cards. Yeah, you can't just cruise up to a crime scene in a minivan, have your way with it, and cruise off without identifying who you are. You have to remember, they serve us, they work for us. Yeah, which means they answer to us. And if those guys don't, that's sus. Also, you got to remember this is a death penalty case, and we need to know who they were and what they were doing there.
Cindy, that's exactly what it seems like. The cops were all over there. Do they really think a bunch of cowboys just got it out of their car and here you go? This is Idaho. There's going to be a lot of cowboys. People are going to be wearing cowboy hats. They had ID around their neck. You could see that. One of them had a lanyard. Like, what? Yes. Our options are a black diamond, a USB drive, or panties. You got it. Couldn't be a glove or anything. Couldn't be that he was holding on to a glove, like his own glove. Nope.
It's important. Keep in mind, this was only 2 days after the warrant was served on Doorslash. Coincidence? I think not. And why wasn't the lead detective in this homicide investigation with them, accompanying them? Is anybody?
If they were FBI, the cops don't need to do that. If they were U.S. Marshals, the cops don't need to do that. Okay, drip-drap.
Just allowed to roll into that house?
Yeah.
Extract an item or two and roll out? Apparently, because I've seen no mention of them in the court paperwork by the prosecution or the defense. Maybe Ann Taylor doesn't even know about the cowboys. We don't know because nobody will tell us anything. All we can go off is our own intuition, the tarot cards, the psychics, the numerologists, and astronomers. I see you out there.
So let's dissect that. Don't go off of the evidence. Go off of psychics. Go off of tarot readers. Go off of any conspiracy theory that you can find. That's who he's going by. Okay.
And I'm right here. I appreciate everyone's good advice, wisdom, tips, and tricks in this case. Every single one of you out there has helped me greatly, so thank you. Every single individual investigating this case helps in their own little way. Each person discovers their own little clue. At this point, we're all heavily invested into the Moscow, Idaho investigation. At this point, we need justice for the victims. At this point, we need to know what happened, how it happened, and who did it. That's important.
That's why we have something called the justice system, and that's why we have a trial. There is a gag order, in case you forgot, that we're not allowed to know anything. So things like this don't happen. So people, influencers with hundreds of thousands of subs, cannot pull this kind of bullshit. That's why. But yeah, it's called the justice system, and that's where you get answers. He might be microdosing, I don't know. Or maybe we are.
Yeah. So I guess without the body.
See, Willow, that's a personal opinion. I never liked him. I think the guy is a complete moron. I don't like his presentation. I don't like the way he presents things. I don't like his monotone voice. So it's a personal opinion. I think his delivery is absolutely horrible. But that's me.
Body cams, we can't even do a public records request and get the body camera footage. So even the lead homicide detective doesn't have a clue what those guys did in the crime scene, and no suspects had been named and nobody had been arrested yet. I don't know if it's just me, but that's sus to us. Moving right along. Somebody out there slid into my Patreon inbox very concerned about my well-being. They told me that I needed to get holy water ASAP. So that's exactly what I did. I've obtained holy water right here. So I've got my holy water right here, and it really is delicious. And as you can see, I've taken this cross off my neck because one of you out there warned me that a cult member could just yank this thing off my neck and stick it into my eyeball. And that really wasn't a good vision to have. Plus,
I'm sorry, before people are dead, this isn't a joke. You're trying to get justice and you're turning this into a circus. This isn't a joke. This is 4 people that were brutally murdered. I can't respect this. I just can't.
I don't want to lose my vision, so it's safer off of my neck, and I'm safer with it off of my neck as well. Anyways, I recommend every single one of you out there have holy water in your possession at all times. And you can never have too much holy water, right? So, let's discuss the cult. I'm going to play you a short video that was uploaded to YouTube on October 13th, 2022.
Now, this is what I saw on T-Rev, and this one I was like, what the fuck is this? How he even equates these two, I have no idea.
That's exactly 1 month prior to this crime. The crime happened on November 13th. This video was uploaded on October 13th. And on October 13th, coincidentally enough, that is the release date of Halloween Ends, the horror movie with Michael Myers, the whole...
Okay, in all fairness, it is Halloween and things like this happen. This is what happens around Halloween. They release movies. There's some weird shit that goes on.
Slasher flick. Yeah, and there is a lot of occult symbolism in that movie. I'm actually afraid to watch that movie again because there is so much numerology and creepy stuff, and some of it links potentially to this crime. Yeah. Anyways, let's watch this video, and then we're going to have a discussion about this video.
There's a new threat in this great land, and it's come to Idaho. It can take on many forms and names, but we know it as the cult. With feverish hate, they work to destroy our sacred values, beliefs, and what is most precious to us. There's only one way to fight this evil. Find them and chase them out. For now, they failed. But they're still lurking in the darkness. And this battle has just begun.
That video that we just watched was created by a man named Ammon Bundy. He's a patriot and a freedom fighter, and he's been living in Idaho for many years. And that was his campaign commercial running for governor. Yeah, have you ever seen any political commercials that look like that? This man is dead serious, and he's not playing around. There really is a cult, and he really wants to defeat them.
Okay. First of all, him doing a video like that has to do with people destroying the United States Constitution. I don't think he literally means some dangerous satanic cult like clown over here is trying to make people believe. Is it an odd commercial? Yeah, but guess what? I've never lived in Idaho. I don't know what Idaho's like, but I do know that some of these states are very cowboy friendly. This has nothing to do with the Idaho 4. And the cult isn't meant to be taken literally. There's no literal satanic cult. Like, I just don't get it. I don't.
He really, really does. In fact, this cult has attempted multiple times to put him in prison for the rest of his life for victimless crimes. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. That video was recorded in Idaho. This man was running for governor in Idaho. Apparently there's a cult.
Swendeg, the video depicted a group in red hoods for a reason. Because when you think of a cult, that's what you think of. You think of Satan. You think of long red robes. You think of the Grim Reaper. If you picked 5 words, thank you, Callie, babe. If you picked 5 words to describe a cult, those are the words that people are going to come up with. Satanism, robes, hoods, Grim Reaper. I should have done it before I'm saying it, but I really should have done it. And so when someone is trying to depict a cult ruining, you're going to depict like a satanic cult. And there's other cults out there that aren't satanic. KKK, hoods, hoodies, long robes, all standing around a fire. Masonic cult, like all the cults all depict the same kind of image. So if somebody is doing a video, a commercial or something depicting a cult, they're all going to have those same features. So people are mistaking symbolism and reality. And they are 2 different things. They really are.
In Idaho. Yeah. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. And that takes us right back to Delphi, Indiana with Richard Allen, Abby, and Libby.
We're getting straight to breaking news tonight. New accusations in the Delphi murder case.
Attorneys for the defendant, Richard Allen, say they have new evidence that law enforcement lied and tried to hide information.
Richard Allen's lawyers are not playing around. They have filed more paperwork. They're doubling down on their claims of this cult, and they have uncovered more police.
So if you're a little lost, he's trying to connect the Idaho 4 murders and the Delphi murders. And he is convinced that Richard Allen is 100% innocent. Okay? And yes, he says it. So he is literally trying to connect both of them as the same killer in the same case.
It's lies. Why, oh, why did the officials keep lying to us? It's us. The police in Delphi, Indiana said that a professor from Purdue said that it wasn't an occult ritual. But a new interview popped up the day after the defense filed court paperwork, and suddenly there he was. And surprise, oh surprise, he said it was possibly an occult ritual. And another professor from Harvard co-signed. So that's two people that spend every day of their lives, it's their careers researching this stuff. It's what they do. They're specialists. It's what they are. They know a lot more about it than you or me or anybody else. And according to their own research, the cult passed away Abby and Libby. That's why the bodies were posed and little antlers were put above Abby's head. And that's why Libby was stripped.
Now, I don't know anything about the Delphi case. I never covered it. So is that true that there were antlers above one of them and the other one was stripped? I know nothing about it. I never covered the case. I know nothing about the case. So if anyone could fill me in to know if that's even true or what was squashed would be awesome. Because I don't know. I truly don't know. Yes, true. But Colleen said that was squashed. What was squashed? They were in weird positions. Okay. But Colleen said that was squashed. So I don't know how it was squashed. But I also don't believe that the police would arrest Alan if he's just so innocent and had nothing to do with it. Ellie didn't release those details. So how does he know about them? And what does that have to do with the cult? And didn't Richard Allen agree? Didn't he, hey Teresa, didn't Richard Allen confess? Or confess to his wife or something? Oh, Richard Allen tried to blame it on a cult. Okay. One of the girls had all their blood drained. One of them, not both? But wasn't I remember hearing like his wife or something released details. Oh, he was all right, so he did confess. Hey, Peyton. Supposedly the guards are bullying him to confess while he's on the phone with people, some shit. Okay. Like I said, I don't know anything about the Delphi case.
And the crime scene was really graphic. I've read some disturbing things in this case, and I've even seen some disturbing images. So don't go looking for anything because you might regret what you find. Anyways, do you think these two cases are connected? Maybe, maybe not. All we know for sure is that Richard Allen is for sure innocent.
That right there is so fucking irresponsible. How do you say something like that? Hold on, let me let Buka out. How do you say something like that? You can't say something like that. He is not even on trial yet. You can't run around saying somebody is completely innocent. Like, he still has to go in front of a jury. This is crazy. You just can't do shit like that. You just can't. Like, he's definitely innocent. That's fucked up.
Is Brian Koberger innocent? We don't know, but we haven't seen any evidence that makes us believe he is. All we've seen is tabloid information in the genealogy DNA tree where they won't show their work, and showing your work is always important. Anyways, that brings us back to the Moscow, Idaho police investigation. Let's check out this footage and see what we think about it. Here you can see two police officers randomly walking across this field. It appears they're looking down at the ground. Maybe they're looking for evidence. I don't know about your thoughts, but my feelings, that's not a very big search team. Now look at these two guys here. What do you think they're doing with that jacket? They seem to have a real interest in the jacket laying by the fire hydrant. In fact, that looks exactly like Maddie's jacket from the grub truck video. Let's have a side-by-side comparison. Comment down below. Am I right or am I right? That looks like Maddie's jacket.
I'm sorry, that looks like any black jacket in the universe. Like literally any single black jacket in the universe.
Did any of you observant folks also see what I saw in that video? Let's roll it back one more time and zoom in. We can see a soda can here, possibly a Red Bull can. Don't you think that could be an important piece of evidence in this case? I've seen homicide cases solved by a single cigarette butt. So maybe the perpetrator's DNA could have been on that soda can. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll never know because that soda can wasn't collected and neither was the jacket. It was just left on the side of the road like it wasn't important.
Here's the thing that he's forgetting though. We don't know where that was. This could have been 20 minutes away from the house. They could realize that it has nothing to do with it. Now, is it still kind of evidence that they should have taken it? Absolutely. Should they have taken that can, whatever it is? Absolutely, they should have, because they don't know what they would have found on it. However, we don't know where this was. We don't know why they put it back. We don't know why they didn't take the soda can. We really have no idea where this even is. This could be so far down the road that they know it's not. But should they have taken it? Yeah, they should. They absolutely should have. But obviously they have the reasons why not, why they didn't. Papa Smurf is there, Daddy.
That's concerning and that's super alarming. How do we feel about this investigation? How could evidence just be left on the side of the road? We need to know. We really do. This is a death penalty case. 4 innocent, beautiful lives were taken away from this earth forever. So we really do need to know. We need to know where that jacket is, who has it, and what happened to that soda can. Somebody's DNA was on that can. Before we move along, I'm going to have a little more holy water. Go get you some, ladies and gentlemen. It's really good. Now let's have a brief discussion about cell phone towers, cell phone pings, and how they work. Because as far as we know, that's one of the only pieces of evidence where they're attempting to link Brian Kohberger to this crime scene. Cell phone pings. I'd like to clear up some confusion for some of you out there. Brian Kohberger's phone was not linked to 1122 King Road. That's not what the arrest affidavit says. That's not what any officials have ever claimed. His cell phone simply pinged off a tower. Let's have a look-see at these images right here. The way a cell phone tower works, it can actually broadcast a signal up to 45 miles away, and many towers overlap. And if one cell phone tower is overloaded, your cell phone will connect to a different tower, even if you're not in that area. To keep it really simple for you, Brian Kohberger's phone could be in his apartment and ping in Moscow, Idaho. Yeah. They never said his phone went to the house. They only said it pinged off a Moscow, Idaho tower. And that does.
Okay, instead of spreading rumors, let's clear this up. They also said that Brian Kohberger's phone was off between the hours of X and Y. I think it was the time of the killings. His phone was off. So his phone would never ping at the house because his phone was off when it was at the house. But his phone pinged 13 times before that and after that in total. Before that and after that. His phone pinged in Moscow. Granted, I said that originally, that it is possible that, his phone pinged there regardless. But the fact that his phone was off is why his phone never pinged directly to the house. And if anyone uses Life 360, you know this as well, that it can say that it'll say I'm home, but like if I ask the kids where they are and I'll look at Life 360, if Phoenix was at work, it would say he was near so and so. It was, and that goes by pings. It never really said he's at Kroger's or he's at Publix or, unless you have it pinged in like at home or at Justin's or wherever, that's the only time it does that, at school. So if his ping is off and his phone is off and his location is off, then the phone is never going to ping to the house. When his phone went back on, it pinged at his residence. This is all standard stuff. This is not a conspiracy. This is not, oh my God, well, it never pinged at the house. So therefore, it doesn't, he wasn't there. That's not what that means, especially when they have told us numerous times that the phone was off during certain hours.
Doesn't even mean he was in Moscow, Idaho. In fact, even in the arrest affidavit, the police themselves say they don't believe one of the pings is accurate. That's sus to us.
Yeah.
You can't just say one of the pings doesn't count and the other pings all do. Also, don't you think it's a little suspicious that they released the body camera footage of Brian Koberger from August, but not from October? Why not? What do they have to hide? I really do wonder. And so do you, which is why you're watching this program right now, because we're both wondering. We're all wondering. What in the world was going on in this investigation behind the scenes? How did they even come across Brian Koberger? And don't even tell me you randomly matched up his daddy's DNA from a garbage can. I don't believe it. I really don't. According to what I've read and been told, the Idaho State Crime Lab could not build a profile off the smidget of DNA that was left on the sheath. There just wasn't enough. Then it was shipped off to Texas somehow. And then somehow it ended up in the FBI's hands. And the chain of custody is really odd. And apparently they didn't even take any notes or document their investigation properly. We're just supposed to believe them. That doesn't sit well with me. I can't just believe them. I need to see the work. I need to see how they got to their conclusion. Because as far as I'm concerned, they arrested a PhD college student in Pennsylvania, and everything's a secret. In the arrest affidavit for Brian Koberger, they made mention.
Is it me or do you guys think he is fucking as insane as I do? Like, honestly. His theories are whacked. His conclusions are even more whacked. Is it just me? Or do you guys also think that he is so far out there that it's hurting a case? He is one of these entitled YouTubers that really believes that he's owed an explanation. What happened to our justice system? What happened to going to trial? What happened to that innocent till proven guilty without a doubt? But when does it cross the line with your entitlement is so wrong and so, for a lack of a better word, so tragedy pimp, you're not owed an explanation. That is what trials are for. You're not a police officer. You're not FBI. You're not an investigator. You're just a YouTuber. You're not entitled to know every step of the investigation. You're not entitled to know what they're going through, what they know, what they did. And this entitlement is fucking mind-blowing. And I just don't understand, like, the entitlement. I just don't. See, but Swendig, I don't think that this is outside the box thinking. Outside the box thinking is more on the lines of I can't really I'm trying to think of a good example. Outside the box thinking is coming up with a theory that Kohlberger didn't act alone. And you want to say that he didn't act alone because he couldn't have done it this way or that way. He couldn't have done it alone because of this reason. That's outside the box thinking. This is just completely irresponsible, fuck up a jury. Even for him to say Richard Allen is unequivocally innocent. Are you out of your fucking mind? And I am an out of the box. Sorry, Fluff. I am an out of box thinker. I do like to see things outside the box. But when it's so far outside the box, then it just doesn't make sense. Then you're just trying to put a circle into a triangle and trying to explain to me why it should fit. No, a circle is never going to fit inside a triangle, no matter how many motherfucking times you try. You just can't.
Of a single bloody Vans shoe print. In the search warrant, they didn't find any Vans in Brian's house. They found New Balance, and they took those New Balance shoes. Also, many of you have become aware that...
And they also said that they believed that it could have been Vans, but if our memory serves me correct, they said New Balance had a very similar bottom.
A search warrant was put on YouTube. The creator in this case has been investigated. A warrant has been served. Information has been transferred. Which YouTuber do you think they've been investigating in this case? Sad to say, I think it's me. Because last November and December, I made some Moscow Idahos that had some explosive booms. And I put them on private. And after I put them on private, they were still getting a few views. And I've never seen that before in all my years of being a YouTuber. The private videos were getting views. And they weren't unlisted. They were private, which means nobody should...
Okay, I do not believe him, and I'm going to tell you why. As a YouTuber, you can't see the views on a private video. So he's lying. When you put a video on private, you don't see the views. It no longer calculates the views. So he's full of shit. And that was like the most narcissistic comment I've ever heard. Oh, they must be investigating me. Look, crime clown. If they were investigating you, you would know it. You would know if they were investigating you. They don't take your videos as, oh my God, this is it. Like, I can't with this shit. This is such bullshit.
Should have been able to see them. But the view counts went up very slightly. And in the YouTube Creator Studio, you can see where the views come from. However, for these views, there was no location. Take that for what you will. Moving right along. In closing, let's talk about the secret door. Check out these images. We have two possibilities to the entrance into this secret underground tunnel. One of these doors may lead to the tunnel. Nobody has ever seen inside of either of these doors. There's no photographic evidence on all of the internet of what's behind either of these doors. Right here in the hallway, we have a door that is in between the downstairs bathroom and Bethany's room. That door right there would lead over here to underneath that suspicious mound behind the house. That would be a really good location for an underground basement, and it would lead to right underneath the kitchen. That hill right there. The other possibility is this little door. And you know, Brian Kohlberger is the tall man, so he is too tall to be crawling through that little door. Yeah. But I've seen little doors like that in movies, and they oftentimes lead to little secret underground passageways. It's true, you've probably seen some of those movies. And as you know, many Hollywood movies are based on real life. And for those of you that have seen Lifetime movies, you would know those are very accurate. Very, very, very accurate. And you really do.
Okay. Most Lifetime movies are far from accurate. Far from accurate. Even when they do ones based on a true story, it's complete opposite of what actually happened. For example, I just watched one the other day called Taken in Broad Daylight. It was a story of a woman who was kidnapped by a guy. She ended up he ended up going to jail. She ended up living. The story was so opposite from what Lifetime presented it as. The only thing that was real is she was kidnapped. Most Hollywood movies are based on the imagination of somebody, of the director, not based on real life. I can promise you Alien was not based on real life. I can promise you Mission Impossible was not based on real life. Matrix was not based on real life. Most movies are not based on real life. So that's another bullshit.
You have to be careful which unknown doorways you walk through because you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side.
By the way, The Lion King was not based on real life.
Now let's have a quick look at the crime house from this alternative angle. That's 1122 King Road back here. Up front, right here, this is 1112 King Road. And this is where they got the camera footage of the white Elantra and the DoorDash driver, suspect vehicle number 1. But let me direct your attention to the neighbor's house right over here. You can see a little air vent underneath the house. Why would you need an air vent underneath the house? That probably leads to an underground passageway.
No, dumbass. It's probably a fucking basement. Not some secret passageway. Just a basement. And most basements have vents.
Yeah. Now, underneath this house, right here, this is undeniable. Look at this window. The window literally goes down into the ground, which means whatever that window leads to goes underneath the road.
It's called a basement.
So there's a room underneath the road, right here. We got a window here. We got air vents over there. We got a suspicious mound behind 1122 King Road. We have the mysterious hallway door, and then we have the little door. And don't even tell me that none of these doors lead anywhere. You don't know. They might. And in a proper thorough.
Yes, I do know. They lead to a basement. Yeah, probably a dryer vent. You're right. So if you notice, they're talking, he pulls up some with secret tunnels in Mexico. Mexico man builds secret tunnels. The secret $4 billion tunnel network, Chicago. What does this have to do with the Idaho 4 and housing?
Investigation, we must open all doors. Yeah, we're not going to leave any stones unturned. Not here, not at Crime Circus, not at the Crime Circus cult. You're not, and I'm not either. Anyways, I will be back again very soon. There's more I've uncovered behind the scenes regarding this investigation. You might even say it's been a botched investigation for the officials. I just keep uncovering things. And in the next episode, we might actually have to discuss Jack Decor.
Oh my God.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching this presentation. Please remember to smash the thumbs up. Comment down below if you want to. Make sure you're subscribed to both my YouTube channels. Shout out to all my members and Patreons. I appreciate you so much. If you're not a member of Patreon, please consider supporting this channel. It really helps me with these investigations and obtaining interrogation videos. And with the more support I get, I'm considering visiting some of these crime scenes to do a deeper dive investigation.
Oh God, here we go. Another person hitting the crime scenes. Here we go. And now we got everyone trying to be JLR. Okay.
One-on-one, hands-on, eyes-on, maybe collect some evidence and do some processing. We'll see. Anyways, until next time, remember to stay safe out there because you know it's a dangerous world.
Now, am I the crazy one? Or is this some of the most ridiculous shit you've ever heard? I was mind blown. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Why? Why would you put up with this? Like, and the comments are all gloating on him. The comments all, he's right. This happened, that happened. This is the, like, it's ridiculous. What? You want to say hi? What? Say, mommy needs to give me a haircut. Say, I hate being on camera. What? Making me hot. It's beyond ridiculous, Ellie. Absolutely beyond ridiculous. But my point is that people talk about someone like Betty ruining an investigation. Okay? You don't think that ruins an investigation? You don't think this is 10 times worse than anything Betty ever did? I do. Now, I haven't watched this one yet, but I feel like we kind of have to get the backstory. This was 2 weeks ago. I guess this is where he connects the Idaho 4 and Delphi. Thank you, Sonny. It's like he's mocking the case. But he's not. I think he really believes it. That's the sad part. I really think he believes what he's preaching.
In today's episode, some of you are going to think I've lost my mind, but I'm only in pursuit of the truth. Some of you out there have thought this might be drug-related, and you might not be wrong. I've also discovered potential connections to the cult of Odin, and this was allegedly a retaliation sacrifice. Yeah. Seriously, I've uncovered some booms and a family tree. Now let's see what I have to say for myself this time.
Here is my question, though, to those that do follow him. He has 300,000 subscribers on his main channel. Why would he start another channel for cult stuff? That makes me think that he's doing this strictly for views and not because he actually believes it. Why not put it on your main channel? Why do you have a second channel for this kind of nonsense? The disclaimer says that it's all in, it's all his opinions and that none of it's facts. Yeah, he has 310,000 on his main channel and almost 100,000 on this channel. So I'm just wondering why he wouldn't put this on his main channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crime Circus. My name's drop-drap, and I'll be your host as always. In this episode, I'm going to show you some connections that I found that might just leave you breathless, allegedly. But first, I'd like to clear up some misconceptions and confusions on my previous video, Ladders and Tunnels. Here, I present you a picture from the very beginning of the investigation. In fact, it's from some of this stuff in this video I have chosen to redact. I have censored some full names. I do fear these people. I really do. And the origins of this family tree is personal and private, and it's not to be released. I'm just going to show you part of this tree, but I won't explain exactly how I got to the formulation of this tree. You'll just have to trust the process and witness this presentation.
You're going to have to trust us on that at this point.
Check this out. Kaylee's father is named Steve, and Steve has a brother named Nathan. Nathan would be Kaylee's uncle. About a year ago, Nathan was sentenced to 20 years in the state penitentiary for passing away a man. Yeah, and the circumstances around his passing are very suspicious, and are most likely drug-related, allegedly. Also, Steve's brother has a previous prison sentence for drugs. Yeah. So, about this passing away that Steve's brother's doing 20 years in the state penitentiary for, I found an article and it says the one and only witness was uncooperative. I believe that uncooperative witness was the victim's son, because 2 days later, the victim's son called 911 with some additional information. And he had already known that his father was in the hospital regarding this event. It wasn't until his father passed that he decided to give some key information. That's a bit sus to us. And what is with these long...
Why is that sus to us? What am I missing here? I don't get how any of this is sus. Okay, that's Steve's brother. And?
delays calling 911? What's going on with these people? It seems to always be drug-related when there's a delay calling 911. Understandably. You might be wondering what I'm getting at. What's this got to do with Brian Koberger and the Idaho?
He's trying to say, I could tell you, I have not seen this yet, but in my opinion, what he's trying to say is that the reason why they delayed 911 was because they were hiding drugs. Okay, it's possible. What does that have to do with Steven's family?
4. Bear with me. We're going to get there, I promise. It will be worth watching this video because I've uncovered some super important deets, allegedly. You got to remember, this is all someone else's fantasy, not mine and not yours. We're just observers. Anyways, let's proceed. Steve's brother Nathan had no children according to his multiple divorce filings, as seen here. The man that Nathan is in prison for passing away, his name was Damon. So hypothetically, if Damon's family, or any memberships that he were a part of, wanted to seek revenge, they couldn't do it against Nathan's children because he had none. So his closest relative would have been Kaylee.
Oh my God. Is he fucking for real? Oh my God. I can't with this. And people eat this up. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is so far-fetched that it's not even realistic.
Yeah, let me explain. This really isn't that uncommon for family members of victims to seek vigilante justice outside of the courtroom. I've seen it in many cases. Look at these various articles that I'm putting on the screen right here. This is on the news. This happens all the time. And look at the former UFC fighter Cain Velasquez. He did something very similar. He sought street vigilante justice outside of the courtroom for his victim family member. Yeah. Remember, I'm not just making this up. Kaylee got it the worst.
We have just confirmed Kaylee Gonzalez's injuries were significantly more brutal than her best friend Maddie's injuries, which may end up being a very, very important piece of evidence.
Okay. Kaylee's injuries could have been worse because she fought the hardest. That's possible. We don't know why her family, why she was hurt worse. We don't.
When it comes to determining who the target was in this attack. A very, very important piece of evidence.
Her own father said so. That's why he's been the one that's been the most emotional regarding this whole thing. You don't see the other parents acting the way he's been acting. Plus, the police said it was targeted. And that's typically what they say for drug or cult hits.
What can you tell?
No, it's typically what they say for an unsolved murder.
Tell us about the targeted attack.
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who.
All right, let me also explain. Targeted attack means that it wasn't some random person walking down the street and just hit someone out of nowhere. There were other houses Brian could have hit. So targeted attack means he went directly to their house. That's what targeted attack means. It doesn't mean that they were involved in some drug conspiracy.
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's
They don't.
and Kaylee's cause of death, it does not match based on the autopsy report.
They don't match.
Would indicate that one of them.
He doesn't have to
may
go
have
up
been
the
the target.
steps. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an outfit. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps. Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me.
Calm down.
If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in the box, and I can speak on that.
The police were very confident in the beginning that there was no danger to the rest of the public. They seemed to know exactly what was going on behind the scenes.
This was a targeted attack.
That we believe it was a targeted attack. I mean, to be honest, you're going to have to trust us on that at this point, because we're not going to release why we think that. You're going to have to trust us on that at this point.
Maybe there's even something really suspicious about the crime scene. Maybe there's a red F on one of the walls. We don't know because they won't exactly tell us much about anything. Plus, this was the one and only weekend that Kaylee had returned to that home, and then she was leaving forever. How do you think she could afford that Range Rover anyways? We'd only be speculating because we really don't know. You can see the pain and frustration when Steve speaks.
Every day that goes by and you don't hear anything, what does that do?
Just tells me statistically I'm going to have to do more work myself. I'm not going to sit here and just be a crybaby dad. I can't do it public if he's sitting there laughing and smirking and feeding off everybody's misery. If I can keep any part of this animal's fantasy from coming true, then I'm going to do it.
Moscow PD has not been forthcoming or upfront or honest with him. He demands answers. In fact, he even wants cameras in the courtroom. Of course, he wants Brian Kohberger to be guilty, but in his gut, he allegedly may feel a different way because he knows about his brother.
To put something like this out here is so irresponsible, and especially to thousands of people. I highly doubt his brother had anything to do with this. I would venture to say that the odds of vigilante justice being done are slim to none. But you don't put stuff like this. You want to put stuff like this out there after a trial, be my guest. But to do it before and taint a jury's mind to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, you are not helping a cause. You are not helping the case. You are doing nothing but tragedy pimping and making a joke out of a case. And it sickens me that people like him and Lana and others that do this have thousands of viewers in their live streams and nobody says a word. I remember when everybody except me, literally, talking about how so-and-so Jack went to Africa. I was the only person that stood up and said that is nonsense and here's why. And every other channel got thousands of views. I got the lowest views. And I'm the only one that made sense and was logical and told the truth. Even people like Duty Ron were sitting there lying and running with this stupid ass theory. Ex-cops running with this stupid ass theory. I gave up on trying to figure out what people want. Everybody wants tragedy pimps. They do. Every single fucking channel ran with that, except me.
He knows about the lifestyle his brother was mixed up in. It's probably also why they won't release the 911 call and why it took so long for the 911 call to even be placed. There may be a serious drug/cult connection, and we're going to get to it. I did some digging, and then I did some more digging, and I formulated a family tree. I wanted to look into who the man was that Steve's brother Nathan passed away, and who his connections and family members were. I discovered that he has a son that is a manager at a marijuana grow operation near Portland. So I took a look. I looked into the son and who his connections were. I took a look at his Instagram page. I saw this picture. I saw that picture. I thought, okay, let me dive a little deeper. And then I found this guy. Somebody with the family name that has connections to Coeur d'Alene. And he's about the same exact age as the victim's son. So I'm assuming that he's the cousin. He's also connected to just north of Coeur d'Alene in a town called Alto. And when I do a Google search for Alto, Idaho, this is the first image I see. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. I think I've seen that place before somewhere. Was it in my dreams? No, it wasn't. Actually, I just saw that picture right here. Boom. The victim's son that Steve's brother passed away has a direct connection to Coeur d'Alene and Alto. That's the same place. If you don't think that's the same place, please let me know. But I think that's him in his little kayak floating around in that lake.
Is he fucking kidding me? Like, I can't with this. Now he thinks that's the guy in the boat? Come on, really? And thousands of people are eating this shit up. I don't get it. I just don't. Everybody's going to be connected to somebody. You can connect me to many different states, multiple states you can connect me to. I bet I can connect all of you guys to multiple states. This is crazy.
And the trees look the same, the water looks the same, everything looks the same. But that's not all. We're gonna get to where I'm leading with all this. I know some of you out there are thinking drip drop. Get on with it. None of this means anything. Okie dokie, let's go. Some of you may or may not be familiar with the Delphi case from Indiana involving Richard Allen. He was arrested about 10 months ago. They say he committed the crime. The defense released paperwork recently that showed that the sheriff lied to get the arrest. I'm going to have to do a full-blown deep dive into that case very soon because Richard Allen is an innocent man. And he is allegedly being framed by the cult of Odin, who is actually allegedly responsible for the passing away of Abby and Libby, the two victims in Delphi, Indiana, RIP. And it's not just the Delphi defense lawyers coming up with weird, crazy conspiracy theories. Every single point that they came up with was based on the official police investigation that the top commanders refused to act on. The lower tier police officers and detectives were on the right trail. The higher up said, oh, no. Do not investigate the cult of Odin. They've been cleared. That's right. In Delphi, the cult of Odin members were cleared within the...
Now, is that true or is that not? I don't know anything about Delphi. So, I don't know. But is that true? Was there Odin cleared? He did just go there, Amber. That's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about Delphi to confirm or deny. So that's where I need your guys' help. This guy is all about clicks and views since the start. He starts conspiracies for his benefit, paying no mind to it. Thank you. That's what I'm saying, Sassy. That's exactly what I'm saying. But what is this Odin stuff or the cult of Odin or any? I know nothing about it. Swendig, you like his conspiracy theories, though. I've been watching comments. So I can't go by you. I think it's true. Can someone validate? Yeah, can someone validate it? I don't know anything about a cult of Odin or anything.
The first 2 weeks of the crime. Of course, the crime went unsolved for 6 years until they decided to arrest the wrong guy. My point is, they cleared all of the key members that were actually most likely probably guilty and responsible for the crime. Clear.
Okay. So this is what I just found real quick. All right, in a quick search. Hold on. Odinism and the cult of Odin is a white supremacist cult focused on the worship of the Norse god Odin. The belief system may be sometimes be referred to as Astro and is centered around white supremacist beliefs combined with magical elements of paganism. Values in both groups center around the idea of folk tribes and individualism. So Odin has nothing to do with killing two white girls, right? Nothing to do with two little white girls if they're a white supremacist group. So his whole cult of Eden is completely wrong. It makes no sense. If it was two black girls, I might put something to that. But they were two white girls. So that doesn't make sense at all. That annihilates the whole cult of Odin stuff, right? That's just dumb.
Clear this.
Exactly, especially blonde-haired girls. I agree.
Yes. Boom. The cult of Odin are also known as Odinites, and they are very dangerous people, and some of them are some of the highest ranking officials in government. I'm actually in fear for my life just recording this video, but I think this information is important enough for me to risk everything. Now, getting back to the relative of the victim, that Kaylee's dad's brother passed away. Here he is. I know you're thinking, so what? Well, you might think that this is just a normal picture. There's nothing normal about this. Do you recognize that symbol on his right hand? If you don't, well, let me familiarize you with what that tattoo symbolizes. I recognized that symbol immediately because it was in the Delphi court documents. It's a Cult of Odin tattoo. Yeah. And you can verify this yourself with a simple Google search. Look at these images. This is undeniable. Let's look what he's got on his other hand. That right there is a...
Okay. The cult of Odin has 3 triangles. This guy has 2. Look. That's 3 triangles. 3 triangles. 3 triangles. 3 triangles. 3 triangles. Now look at dude's hand. Has 2 triangles. So it's not the same. This guy's a fucking moron. That is a completely different tattoo. This is 2 triangles. Not 3. 2 triangles. 2 points. Oh, wait, maybe I'm wrong. No, it's still a different symbol. Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, it is. I think it is. I think he just got a bad tattoo. It's similar, but it's not the same. Because you can see in all these the shadowing. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad tattoo.
And that right there is another Cult of Odin tattoo, as seen here. Yeah, this man is an Odinite. This man is part of the Cult of Odin, allegedly. But that is what those tattoos actually factually are. Yeah, I'm not just making this up. This has been well researched. This is documented. This is an official, real cult. They have members all over the place. They really do scare me. And now taking a look at this other picture of him, It's pixelated, it's blurry, but I can see through the pixels. He's got an arrow tattooed on his forearm. That is also on the list of symbols of Odin. Yeah, so do you
Okay, I've seen arrow tattoos everywhere.
see where we're at in this investigation at this point? This is scary. Also, how about this shirt? As soon as I saw this shirt, I said to myself, drip drop. I think you've seen this shirt somewhere before. I saw something very similar in the Delphi court documents for the cult of Odin. It's some sort of manipulated American flag. And then they put their own little symbols on it. Now, this one I may be stretching on. I don't know. But to me, it looks very similar, but an alteration of it. And there are alterations of these logos. The Odinites are in the cult of Odin, and they allegedly passed away the two girls in Delphi, Indiana. So really, it would be nothing for them to do a sacrifice/retaliation passing away. I mean, seriously, what are the odds that Kaylee's father's brother passes away a man, and I find a direct connection from one of his relatives to the cult of Odin into Coeur d'Alene?
Okay. Some theories connect it with reincarnation and consider it a talisman against evil. The 9 signs or 9 points of the 3 triangles are associated with the 9 worlds of the Norse mythology. Interlinking of the 3 triangles is symbolic of interconnections of the 3 realms of heaven, earth, and hell. The Valkenut symbol holds significance even today in the German neo-pagan faiths. It is sometimes used in popular culture like logos of companies, sports teams, and organizations. So technically, it has nothing to do with this Odin shit. Only one theory connects it with the god Odin and his powers to bind and unbind the mind of men. The symbol has been found often in art depicting Odin and is believed to represent the afterlife. So it's multiple things.
Yeah. This type of stuff makes me nervous for myself and my family because I'm uncovering some really deep things here, ladies and gentlemen. This is someone else's fantasy, but it feels very real to me. But that's not all. This family member of the victim, his hometown is listed as just 2 hours away from Delphi, Indiana. And within the Delphi, Indiana court documents, Odinites are listed up to 2 hours away and more from the crime scene. An Odinite 2 hours away actually partially confessed to this crime. He confessed to his sisters. His sister took a lie detector test and she passed. He also made utterance to a police officer that he spit on one of the girls. Anyways, I know a lot about Delphi, Indiana, and I'm going to make a video on it. It's seriously super important because an innocent man is rotting away and being tortured in jail, and he's on the verge of facing the rest of his life in a cage for a crime he did not commit, allegedly. Also of interest, let's talk about dates and numbers. The Moscow quad passing away happened only 2 weeks after Richard Allen was arrested for the Delphi passing aways of Abby and Libby. That crime in Delphi happened February 13th at approximately 3 p.m. As you know, Moscow was allegedly November 13th at 3 a.m. I'm seeing 13s and 3s. Both crimes happened on the 13th, both at 3 o'clock. People in cults really like their symbolism, numerology, and these weird things. I'm not just making up these weird connections. If you think they're coincidences, there certainly are a lot of coincidences here. I know that there's only about 3 or 4 good, honest, truthful YouTube channels out there that you can count on. Most of them will just give you clickbait, false information. The 4 of us, we don't believe in coincidences. We can see the truth, we follow the clues, and we connect the dots. But I know some of you out there might think this one's so far-fetched that I'm on my own on this one. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm just a truth.
Reality check. I know nothing about that case. Like, I never studied Delphi, so you're asking the wrong one.
Seeker, looking for justice for the victims. There is so much more information to cover
It was after 4 a.m. in Moscow.
regarding this cult and the drug connections. Xana's own mother was arrested on some serious drug charges only 1 week after this crime happened. And there is a lot of other alleged.
Xana's mother is a huge drug addict. That's why. We all saw why she was arrested. It's not a conspiracy. Nobody's out to get her.
Connections, but I can't possibly cover it all in this one episode. And this cult stuff is scary business because I know they're probably watching me right now. So, now that my life's at high risk, if anything happens to me, if I disappear, you probably know which organization to look into. They'll probably get away with it because they don't seem to leave any DNA at any of these crime scenes. They seem to be really good at what they do because they've got the right people in the right positions of power.
Here's why I can't. Yeah, she'd also been an ad of Xana's life. Here's why I can't give this kind of stuff any merit. If there really was a huge cult that was killing people and people are taking the fall for it, aren't you going, and there's no DNA ever left and they get away with it, wouldn't you be a little worried about outing them? Think about it. Why do you think people were so quiet about the mafia for so many years? Because they knew that if they outed the mafia, they were going to get killed. So if this cult is so good and this cult is so, culty, and they can do these crimes and never get caught, wouldn't he be afraid? Of course he'd be afraid. He's worried. I'll go, oh, I'm so scared. Then why are you outing them as killers? It doesn't make sense. If he was afraid in real life, he wouldn't be outing them. That's my point. He's not like Four Trolls said he was very easy to find. You wouldn't be outing a group like that if they were so evil, if you were so scared, if they can do these killings. It's just like the mafia or the KKK. You wouldn't out them to this extent if they were this bad, if they were this badass. It just doesn't make sense. I completely disagree with this dude. Yeah, with just a little white paint, some spiders on your face, all of a sudden, you're going to out them, but it's no big deal. Yeah, okay. It's weird to me. I just don't get it. I don't remember why Xana's mom was arrested. Because why would they go after their own race for any reason whatsoever if that were true? It just doesn't make sense. See, again, I never studied the Delphi case. I don't know anything about it. I agreed, JR Nana Boomer. I don't understand why views like this gets millions of views or hundreds of it's so irresponsible, and it's so tragedy pimping, and it's so hurting a case to line your own pockets. I don't understand. And I don't understand why subs are okay with this. Like, why they feed into this. This is horrible. Swendeg, I know nothing about the case. If you want to talk about Delphi, I am the wrong one to talk about it with because I don't know anything about it. Like, literally. I know 2 girls were murdered. That's it. That's all I know. And they didn't find a killer for many, many years. One of my Patreons is a diehard on this case. So if anybody wants to grab a link to discuss anything, I will pin the link for about 10 minutes and then I'm going to get off. We got to pay some, we got to pay breast cancer awareness. He was drip dropped on his head. I agree. That's true. Sadly, our country is full of nuts and they see Didi and Lana as their leaders. Amen to that. I don't know. Growing up in New York, I just go back to the mafia. That if it was the mafia back in the 80s, 90s, you didn't say a word. Even if they lived next door to you, you said nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's why I don't understand how or why they allow that. I don't know. It's fucking weird to me. That info barely came out. Everybody's taking and running with it, but they said that he's confessed already to. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Boomer. I grew up with the mafia. I mean, I did. And you didn't say anything. I knew a Gambino that was never even allowed to meet his grandfather. Like, it's no joke. And you don't say anything, and you don't out them, and you don't know anything. That's just the way it is. That's why I'm saying I find it so unbelievable that he found all these connections and he's so worried and yet he's outing them. No, I can't buy that. To me, that's just bullshit. I get presents and say nothing. All right. Who we donating to? National Breast Cancer Research. All right. Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I don't think we donated to them yet. They match it double. Oh, hold on. So they're doing a 2-time match. Your gift is matched 2 times up to $100,000 for double the impact on life-saving research. All right, so we got 11. We got 11 memberships at $3 a piece. 3 times 11 is what? 33. So we do 15. I gotta hide this. Hold on. Hide my name from the public. Not that it fucking matters. All right. All right. Thank you for your donation. Share on Facebook. Thank you for your gift. $15 one time. So now we're up to $218 that we've donated. 218. Woo woo. Come on, I would like to get it to 1,000 by the end of the month. I know, right, Willow? It's wonderful, though. Men can get breast cancer, too. That is correct. That's pretty cool. Plus all the matches, absolutely. But yeah, I think we were at 206 plus 15. So actually at 221. So we donated so far 221. So gonna get in the 30s tonight? Ouch. Yeah, I've donated. That's part of the 200 that we donated, Swendig. I donate 20% or $5 per candle. I haven't checked recent orders, though. I'm not going to lie. I've been sick for days. But between candles and memberships, we've donated $221. I think that's pretty fucking awesome. Let's get to 1,000 between candles, between all of it. And then next month we're gonna do another one. I'm gonna do one every month. But yeah, Teresa, it's cold here too. He is not trying to connect the two cases at all. The 4 cowboys that went. I want to cancel. Oh, you go to the website, Booberry. All the cowboys that went into the house. Yeah, but they're not cowboys. They're FBI agents. There are FBI agents in Idaho that wear cowboy hats. They had lanyards on. Yes, I have 8 different breast cancer awareness candles to choose from. And remember, if you want a different saying on your candle, just let me know. You don't have to have the sayings that I have on there. You can have any of them. No shit, Annie? Yeah, but you're not in America, right? Yes. And for all the haters, Laura's put all that money up before the pay period. That is correct. That's coming out of my own pocket. And I'm not taking out the 30%. And I'm doing that in honor of everyone that has breast cancer, everyone that has fought breast cancer, all the survivors of breast cancer. It's not geared at one person. I could see it, Colleen. I don't know why you'd be blocked on the other channel. Oh. Oh. Oh, why did I think you were in the other side of the country? I mean, the other side of the world. I don't know why I thought you were on the other side of the world. For some reason, I did. I don't know why my finger is still numb. Did he really? I didn't know that, Amber. Didn't he die? Like, my stitches come out the end of the week, and this shit still hurts. My finger is still numb. It's weird. So, exactly. Go us. But again, if you order a breast cancer candle, $5 or /20% if you get a big one. What there are is I haven't whatchamacallit? I haven't wrapped one up yet, but I will later. I have the white box and I'm tying a pink bow around it. And I would do pink lettering, but I don't think it's going to show up. I got to see. I stabbed my hand with a knife, like literally fucking stabbed it and got stitches. But my finger went numb from, I mean, I can move it and stuff, but my finger went numb from the, I guess my nerves. No, it's a little swollen. Not really, though. Steph, I'm so glad you're here. Can you take a link? Did you watch this live? Did you see the bullshit? Like, nobody knows Delphi like you do. I was hoping you came in. I was like, where's my Steph when I need her? I know nothing about Delphi. But I also know, Steve and Mindy, I also know that liver tastes disgusting and I've never tried it. I also know that chicken livers are disgusting and I never tried it. There are certain things you just know with common logic. And that's one of them. Oh, you're still working? All right. Did you watch? All right. You have to watch this video. And if you want, let me know on Patreon. We could go live about it later when you get some time. Because their Crime Clown is trying to connect Delphi with Idaho 4 and saying it's the cult of Odin. And there's a lot of details he's talking about Delphi, which I find absolutely ridiculous. But you would know. Is it candy? So that's like normal? Ew, you love liver and bacon? Bah. Nasty. Bah. Yeah, it's like here is numb. Here is numb. Delphi has nothing to do with Idaho. And wait, I love chicken liver. Bah. Blah, blah, blah. You do know that it came out that that was the jacket Maddie had on that night. No, I don't know that. Sage likes deer jerky too. I don't care for deer jerky. Say no to liver, exactly. My mom, when we were young, her and my dad liked tongue. And I was like, I think I was like 12. And she went to go buy it, and I took it out, and I went, eh, and I was walking around with it. I was like, I am never eating that shit again. Ugh. Disgusting. Blech. Yeah, Steffi, you have to watch this. You have to watch this live. It's crazy. The correlations that he comes up with, he is absolutely convinced that Richard Allen is innocent. See, Candy, that's why I keep this covered, because I bang it all the time. Like, it doesn't have to be covered, but I always bang it, and then it hurts more. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'm just going to keep it covered, because I just bang it. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do liver. But then again, I like veal. Is his name CJ? No, Crime Circus Clown. Drip-drap. This dude. That dude. He's convinced. I like veal too. You can't find veal here though. Ew, cow stomach? Ugh. Bleh. Gross. I remember when I moved out of New York and they said that you can't get veal. All you can get is like chopped veal. I'm like, bet. Sexy Lords make cold burger video. Oh, did he? What's his channel, Swindig? The Lawyer and Me or something? Oh, Sephi, you need to watch this. It is insane, the theories that he comes up with. Like fucking crazy. The Lawyer You Know, that's what it is. Korberg's order plus new reports about Gonsalves investigation. Yeah, he did a 43-minute live an hour ago. He's cute, but I think he's a bit See, I would have to watch it, but I don't understand what the big deal is if the grand jury spoke to Gonsalves. I don't understand what the problem is. But I'm not a lawyer, so maybe I'm missing something. Because don't grand juries normally speak to parties involved? Grand jury is a secret, but they're not like, they're just regular people. A lot of people don't know that. I always thought when I was younger, I always thought there was like a group of people that were like grand juries, you know, and like they're hidden and they're lawyers. And no, they're just everyday people. They're just like putting together a regular jury, which I didn't know that for a long time. Like I recently learned. I just thought they all, you know, like this secret group that were grand juries, they get paid like, you know, 200,000 a year and nobody knows who they are. I really thought that's what they were. I had no idea that they were just regular people that are put together for each case. They are regular people. Right, Swindig? I had no idea. Grand jury is made up of regular people, the same way a jury is. They're not like this high group or anything. I don't know. I guess that's what came out. I haven't followed it because I've been dying. Could it be possible Gonsalves testified before the grand jury and not to the grand jury? That's interesting. I'm just going to play this one little part.
If you want to see that second half of the hearing and her testimony, let me know. Thank you, Carrie.
Anonymous, yeah, I've been uploading it in Patreon. It's not Candace Owens series. She's just a host. That was made years ago, but they couldn't sell it to anyone.
Could it be possible that Gonsalves testified before the grand jury and not to the grand jury? If you do something before the grand jury, that usually means to the grand jury. If you mean he talked to them before they were grand jurors, that would be much worse. To me, if this investigator or Gonsalves himself talked to grand jurors before they were impaneled on the grand jury, that would be much worse, but I don't think that's what happened. Pebbles. Do they have to be informed if exculpatory evidence exists? I believe the answer to this is yes. There's some gray areas in this, and the other, if you're following Melly at all, the grayest of gray areas when it comes to exculpatory evidence is what is exculpatory evidence and who determines that it's exculpatory. Because as you'll see in Melly's case, the defense thinks certain things are exculpatory. The prosecutor doesn't think they're exculpatory. The prosecutor does not have to tell those things to the grand jury if they don't think it's exculpatory. But they should give a full picture of the case and provide exculpatory evidence that they believe is exculpatory. Now, usually they wouldn't bring a case they believe something's exculpatory. So again, there are some gray areas and it depends around this, but I think yes. Mama Rebel, welcome to the membership crew. And I think it's a good time. We are going to do a members only live on Friday.
Members only live on Friday. Join Peter. Peter is his wife is just as good looking. All right. So prepared for the use of grand jurors serving in the U.S. The law imposes upon each grand juror a strict obligation of secrecy. This obligation is emphasized in the oath each grand juror takes and charge given to the grand jury by the judge. Tradition of secrecy continues as a vital part of the grand jury system for many reasons. Protects the grand jurors from pressure by persons who may be subjects of investigations by the grand jury or associates of such persons, blah, blah, blah. Tradition of secrecy continues as a vital part of the grand jury. It also prevents tampering with intimidation of such witnesses before they testify at trial. Prevents disclosure of investigations that result in no action by the grand jury, blah, blah, blah. Grand jury may disclose matters occurring before and only to the government attorneys for use in their performance. All right, we'd have to watch this whole thing. Random selected from a fair cross section of the community. Yeah, I'm telling you, I had no idea. I literally thought all this time, like years and years and years, that the grand jury was this secret group of lawyers, judges that were paid $200,000 a year. They worked for the government, and the grand jury for every state was like these 5 people. It's so weird. Like, I never knew that they were different for each case, that they were, just regular people. I had no idea. Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. Yeah, like here, the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. That's why I thought there was like just one big group of grand jury, kind of like Supreme Court. There's no like different main Supreme Courts. There's just one Supreme Court. That's what I thought grand juries were. I had no idea I was wrong. See, when I bend my hand, I still feel it. Like it still hurts. But my finger is still numb. It's still a little swollen and it's a little black and blue. but it's better. But even when I take the bandage off, like it hurts. And I don't think it should still hurt. I know, don't stab myself anymore. I agree. But that's why I just keep it covered. Because when I bang it, that shit fucking hurts. And of course, you bang it like a million times. Plus, I don't want to get wax in it or anything, or glitter or anything like that. So that's the other reason I keep it covered. Is he short? Well, then that goes my love for him. Yeah, but I don't think my finger should still be numb. You know what I mean? And literally my finger is numb. A nerve conduction test? That would be great if I had better insurance. That's why I'm glad I'm healthy, because my insurance is horrible. I don't have good insurance. How short is he? If I had a guess, I'd say he's about 5'7". If I had a guess. Brooks family taped themselves during their testimony at grand jury and in big trouble. I don't know. But if Peter's like under 6 feet, I find him less attractive. Don't hate me. I just don't like short. Oh, I definitely cut a nerve. Christmas commercials already? I know I didn't hurt any tendons, but I did cut a nerve. She told me I probably stabbed some nerves. There you go. Me too, Lilu. If he's like under 6 feet, then he becomes less attractive. I did tell my doctor. I'm going to tell them again when I get stitches out. Saturday will be 2 weeks. But, all right, I'm going to get off. I don't know if I'm going to eat something. Probably going to have some ice cream. Ice cream sounds good right now. Full head of hair makes up 3 inches? Nah. Oh, I haven't even checked email. I am so bad with checking email lately. When I'm sick, I don't like to do anything. When I'm sick, I eat junk food and I watch stuff online. That's literally all I do when I'm sick. But today I feel a little better. I think I'm gonna do some laundry and I have to make some candles and I have to get some orders done. But I bought ice cream last night. Ice cream sounds good. And by the way, these caramel lollipops, I forgot to tell you guys. It's an apple, a green apple lollipop covered in caramel. That's what makes them different than a sugar daddy. But that's what they look like after they're mostly eaten. I was eating one before I went live. Oh, they're amazing. I saw them last night. I was like, yes. I was like, love these. Fluffer left me. That's it. Navigating the Heart. I'm telling you, this Taken in Broad Daylight, I think it was called. Really good movie. It was a Lifetime movie, but it was good. But I haven't really seen anything good lately. The Dollar Tree. Well, that's where these are from. Not the Dollar Tree. I bought these at Publix. But the caramel apple pops, oh, they're so good. I was telling everyone about them last night. So, all right, Steffa, if you watch this and you want to talk about it later, let me know on Patreon. And I will see you beautiful people later or tomorrow, depending on how I feel. And that's it. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace. And thank you, Blueberry, for the donations. And again, running total, we're at 221 so far for the month of October. Let's get it up to 1,000 for breast cancer awareness. Next month, I have a poll on my community page about what organization you guys want to donate to. Majority will win. And I also want to do Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's, I'm going to do in the month of December because that's when my father died of Alzheimer's. So December is going to be Alzheimer's month. All right. I'll see you beautiful people later. Have a wonderful night. Peace.